It's a puzzle. If I posed the question, which country gave us the very first female head of Interpol? More specifically, which island? Yes, you wouldn't guess. Corsica. Incredible to think that this island was the head of the international drug trade, known for massive mob rule, probably more so than Sicily. And now this sleepy little pretty town, one of 3 cruise ports in Corsica, is the place we'll visit today. Ajaccio. Great food, great beaches, and as it has great wine, we're going to head up to a vineyard.
We've arrived in Ajaccio in Corsica. We were due to stop in Cannes, but it was too windy, so the tenders couldn't get in. So we diverted here, which I think is a win. What can you do on your own? Great beaches. You can eat the best fresh seafood. Check my plate out later. Trolley train across the road in the market square. Napoleon's house, or a hop-on, hop-off bus. Plus, bicycles, segways, electric scooters, all here to help you enjoy Corsica.
Just to remind you of Ajaccio, it's small, and when you get off your ship, the town is right in front of you. You can get the open-top bus, and the little square is quite nice to stop in. You can buy a ticket for the train, which stops there, departs, and goes round and shows you everywhere that Napoleon visited as a young boy.
In Ajaccio at 9 o'clock, the electric train is very busy and you're queuing. But at 2 o'clock, it's begging for customers. So, good idea to leave it till the afternoon. Hello. Hello, 2 tickets, please.
I know these are called street trains, but this one does really go up and down the streets. So we'll point out to you Napoleon's house, Napoleon's Square, Napoleon's Brewery.
The Cathedral statue is the work of Brewery, and the whole square is by Viollet-le-Duc. It was inaugurated by Prince Napoleon on the 15th of May 1865.
Opposite Diamond Square is the statue of the Emperor Napoleon III and his 4 brothers, Joseph, Lucien, Louis and Jerome.
That sounds like my old mate Sean Bean doing the voiceover for that little tour bus.
In typical French fashion, this whole area is marked out for balls and the children are playing here.
And one of our children, that's me and Jean, our daughter Laura, has just been in this city as ours with Sean.
You could call this Napoleon Island. This is the main statue of him, and everywhere there are roads called Napoleon, pictures of Napoleon. This is where he lived, and they're obviously very proud of that. Statue de la Pudeur. Ship tours will normally include the mini train, taking you about as far as you can go from the city to wonderful scenery. A taste of Corsica is a coach to the outskirts of town and a winery and a nougat factory. Then, Corsica's natural beauty is a trip to the countryside, including Prunelli's Gorge and Lake Tolla.
Now, I used this little area in my 4th book for a chase, cruise ship art theft.
You fancy just a chill on the beach? It's not far to walk.
They're on a ship between 2 ports where they have to work on the art theft, but they're followed by 2 hitmen.
Behind me is the Cathedral de l'Assomption.
Seeing she's being chased, our female investigator goes into the church and draws Assassin 1 in there, out of the side door, comes out, hits Assassin 2, then takes out Assassin 1.
Opposite the cathedral is a lovely little cafe. It's ideal for a pit stop, and you've got a view of the sea.
In the book, our female investigator takes the van delivering to this cafe just over in the corner by those stairs, crashes it across the road to hit another assassin who's sitting on the seawall, and she runs back and takes a scooter from outside the church to escape.
Next to the cathedral is this lovely little alleyway with its pavement cafes and its winding street.
I've told you too much about art theft already. Why don't you start at the beginning? Cruise ship heist. They're all action-based films, Jack Reacher, James Bondish, but cruise investigators, cruise stops, cruise ships. You'll love them.
It's unusual for us to stop for lunch, but the ship doesn't sail till 5:30, so we have to have a snack.
Snack. They can see your glass of wine, Jean. And talking of that, we're off to a vineyard in a moment.
This is Napoleon's house. This is where he was born.
If you've been to Ajaccio before, second part of this film will show you how to get to a vineyard for just €1.
So we're in Napoleon's house, and this is a replica of his bed. Unfortunately, it's not the original because it was redecorated after the English came, but you do get a sense of how it was when he lived here. Napoleon only stayed here until he was 8, and then he left to go off to school, but he did stay here frequently during the time of the Revolution. This was the salon, which was decorated by Bonaparte's mother.
If you think it's time for a little refreshment, I couldn't agree more. But please subscribe while we're going to have a drink, and we'll help you get round all the cruise ports.
And next to Napoleon's house is his very own microbrewery. Corsica is full of beautiful little alleyways to meander down.
Well, we're about to meander to a vineyard for a wine tasting, and it's going to take a number 4 public bus which runs along the bay there and stops around about where you see the house in the middle. They've just started to put a cable car lift in. Now that's to the right, but if you go to the left where, do you remember the cathedral? Just up by the cathedral, there's the bus stop there. So you can get the bus anywhere from the cathedral or along the front, the number 4 or number 2. We're going to grab the 2 because it's come first, but the 4 will get you closer to the vineyard. The number 2 bus will stop at the bottom of the hill, and you've got a bit of a longer walk up. But essentially, the bus is going to take you along the bay. So you can pick the bus up at any of the bus stops going that way.
So the bus fare is €1 per person. €1.
If you can find a cheaper excursion, you've done very well. So the number 2 is going to drop you here at this roundabout. Look for this sign, that's the name of the vineyard, and walk up the hill to the roundabout. Now it's a little bit of a climb. If you get bus number 4, you don't have to get up the hill because it's going to drop you there at the base station where they're building a cable car. But the walk's not far. You will soon be at the vineyard.
I think they think you walk very slowly on Google Maps, more like stroll, because it said it was going to take us 19 minutes to get here, and it didn't, more like 9.
You're going to like this secret. Wait until we tell you the prices.
How fortuitous that we've gone on a bus adventure and ended up in a vineyard.
So unlike Eugene to stumble across another glass of wine, or in this case, 6 glasses of wine.
Guess who's here?
I'll tell you, it's our friends, Chloe and Richard and Jessie from the ship, the Queen Victoria, and they told us about this particular wine tasting. Yes, 6 glasses, 6 tasting glasses for €8. But if you buy a bottle of wine, you don't even get charged for the tasting. And we were lucky enough to then take the wine back on the ship. And this is a very small vineyard, family run. It's been in the family for years and years and years, although, as you're going to find out, the name of the family has just changed, the name of the wine hasn't. So they pick their own grapes with their own equipment from their own farm. It's pressed here, it's matured here in the vats, but it really doesn't leave Corsica because this is good wine, and good wine doesn't go, it stays. And you'll find this wine in some of the best restaurants in Corsica. So it's a real treat to find this particular tasting. If you do want some wine, they will ship it abroad to you, but you're not going to find it in a supermarket. What is the family name now?
The family name is Tyrrell de Poix.
And before it was...
And before it's the family Peraldi.
And this is because your daughter...
Because the last heir was a woman, okay?
Yeah.
And she married with the Count Tyrrell de Poix.
But will you keep the name of the wine the same?
Oh, the wine don't change. They keep the name in memory of the family.
Okay.
Le rosé.
It's aroma.
The price?
Pour une bouteille.
I might actually be going back.
Now, although they do wine tastings, and really it is only €8 for 6 wine tasting glasses, and it becomes free if you buy a bottle or 2, They don't do tours. The vineyard's not that big. It isn't that kind of vineyard. But if you ask nicely and you've bought a bottle of wine, you'll see it here being made and bottled. Here, the bottles are washed. Then we move on to the next phase where the bottles are filled. And the third stage, the corks are pressed into the top. Now this year, the wine is especially good, so they're not actually labeling the bottles until they've tasted it after a while. It could be ultra special. Some wines are kept in oak barrels, so this is their cellar. These barrels hold 225 litres each. And the barrels last about 5 years. After that, they sell the barrels on to whiskey makers. So, if you get the chance, come here to this vineyard, taste it. Here's the honey they make as well, because like most vineyards now, they keep bees and birds and encourage nature, because that helps their vine stay healthy. So this is a special eco-organic, since 2022, eco-organic farm. They make all their own things, they make it cleanly and nicely, it's family owned, and this will be a lovely morning out. The only bad news is it closes between 12 and 2. So this is going to be your morning. You'll get back to Ajaccio by lunchtime and on the ship for lunch. But what a morning out you will have had. And you'll probably have a bottle of wine in a bag to take home. Now, the way home is a lot easier because we're going to catch the number 4 bus from just up the road outside the vineyard. No long walk this time.
Which one do you like best?
Queen Victoria!
Oh,
Come on, the bus is coming.
4 everywhere. 4 everywhere.
L4. Okay, so we just spent £37 for 8 slots of wine tasting and 3 bottles of wine. 3 bottles of wine. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
It was an unbelievably good morning. For all these special treats we find you, please like the film and subscribe to Doris Visits. And have a happy cruise.
This statue in the middle of Virgin Square is to represent the river which flowed over where the park is, but was then diverted after the Great Floods in October in 1957. So this is the church in the Square of the Virgin, and it's beautiful inside.
Please subscribe.
I used to love reading historical novels about the Borgias. They were so wicked. They all slept with each other. They were incestuous. They poisoned each other. And there were only 2 popes from Valencia, and one of them was Alexander Borgia. In theory, if I walk to the very end of this park, it's 47 minutes, I'll come out to where the shuttle bus stops. The market closes at 3, so if you want to go and visit the market, you need to go in the morning. We've just had a very interesting walking tour where we learned that paella is not the Spanish national dish. It's from Valencia, and the Spanish national dish is Spanish omelette. Also, we learned that paella does not have seafood in it. It has chicken and rabbit and garlic, a little bit of garlic. That is the traditional paella, and no chorizo, Jamie Oliver.
Against the glamorous backdrop of the Baltic cruise revival, a covert team races to stop a second attack on the $40 billion cruise industry. A compelling ensemble of flawed, deeply human characters. Think slow horses. They operate across a global stage with gritty momentum, but intellect trumps firepower. Its demand for sharp detective work is layered with opulence and geopolitical complexity, like The Diplomat, elevated to a global threat level with a ticking clock intensity of 0 day. Only this time, the battleground isn't a war zone, it's the public playground of cruise ships. The team leave Miami and fly to Germany. They pick up the ship in Warmerand. They sail up to Latvia doing 1 gig. then to Helsinki, where they get the Tallink ferry across to Tallinn, pick up the train to Narva and into St. Petersburg. All they've got to do now is get out and back to the ship at Tallinn. This isn't just a cruise, it's a mission. This isn't just a mission, it's survival. On Kindle, paperback, and audiobook. The Unexpected.